Do I have my phone? I don't have my phone on me. I'll be right back. Oh my gosh, that makes such a big difference. All right, so we have a new camera lens. So this way you're not like this on me the entire time. You're welcome. Now you don't have to look at my ugly face. Close up. Dang, I could have been vlogging like this the whole time if I would have just not broken my first lens. Watch, ready? All right, so check this out. This is with the lens on. That's with the lens off. So, makes quite a, oh, there we go. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. What's up, TCM? Welcome back. Happy Saturday. Today's not Saturday, but happy Saturday for you, because it's gonna be a Saturday when I release this. Today, we're going to be going into learning how to B-twist. We're going to be going over all of the common mistakes, preps, drills, progressions, and what to expect and what not to expect. This is my Muggle roommate, Zane, as you've seen him before. So we're going to see if we can get him to B-twist today with no prior knowledge, just to show kind of how everything works. So stay tuned and make sure you watch the video all the way to the end so you can get all the little tidbits that you might need. First things first, make sure you warm up. Look at that, he's almost able to touch his toes now. Actually, this is actually really big improvement. Like where his hands are, yeah, he used to be able to only go to there and that was a stretch for him. So this is huge, that's really good. This leg, so I'm gonna put my hands down and my right leg only it just kicks up. You don't have to kick it sideways or anything, just back. There you go, yeah, much better. Yeah, like that. So now try to keep your belly button parallel to the ground. Big kick behind you. So right now over here, what we were doing is we were going here and you were finishing this way. But what I want you to focus on now is staying in that same direction. So you're gonna go here, kind of like that. And that last little pivot, if you watch my foot, comes from after I touch the floor. Touch the floor and then I pivot open. It's just to kill extra energy. It's not a part of the actual skill. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Good, that's exactly right. 100%.
Okay.
It looks like it's your first day doing it because it is, but other than that, like that's exactly right.
Okay.
So now here's our next goal. I'm going to assume that you already know how to B-twist, and in typical TCM fashion, I already have a B-twist tutorial, but I haven't taught a B-kick tutorial, so I'm gonna put that one out next. I'm gonna film that one today as well. But what we're gonna work on today is our B-twist. So to start, we're just going to jump and spin. So we're gonna go up, I spin to my left, so I take my right hip and my right shoulder and I pull them to my right side. And I'm kind of putting on my seatbelt almost. So I'm gonna go here, and that's it, 360. So that's the first place to start. From there, you're going to slightly, very slightly, kick your back leg up. Not like this, but like this. And there's a reason for it. So I'm gonna now be in my B-kick position, or my B-twist position. I'm going to dip, kick, and pull 360. And that's how we're going to start our entire B-twist journey. So from that point, it's gonna be crashing a lot, and it's going to be getting your leg higher and higher and higher and higher until you're doing your full B-twist. So from here, 360, kick, 360, and gradually it turns into like a full B-twist. Oh, I'm not warmed up.
Just spinning in place?
Yeah, so just jump in 360. Good. Yeah, that's it. No, that's exactly right. Did you finish in 360?
Yeah.
Then it's right.
Okay.
Yeah, small kick. Try to activate your glutes. So kick, jump, then twist.
Huh?
Kick, jump, then twist.
Oh, you're doing just lifting the leg and then just twisting?
Twisting. Close, you brought it behind you and then around. It just goes behind you. Yeah.
That feels so
It
weird.
doesn't make sense right now. When you actually add the B-kick, everything will make sense. I promise. It's a process. Yeah, 100% right.
Okay.
So because you're twisting left, you're trying to land on your left leg. There you go, good. You can also land on both, that's totally fine.
Okay.
So for this part of the progression, we're going to do our B-kick and then we're gonna twist right after. So, B-twist, kind of. And then the idea is to gradually morph both of them slowly and slowly together until you're doing the full thing. Just the B kick.
I don't know, man.
What didn't click?
You're putting both of them together, but
Okay.
Not seeing.
So they're two separate movements.
I understand.
So you got the one with your belly button facing down still, and then you jump and spin.
Stay facing that way and then spin.
Yeah. So when I'm gonna look at you. All right, my feet are gonna go towards you, and I'm gonna land, and then I'm gonna spin. And then spin. Correct. Now go do it one more time. And then spin. Boom. Great. You're learning how to B-twist. Perfect. As Zane already knows, because he did his wall flip, eventually you got to go for the whole thing. Okay. Whether or not you're ready for it is up to you. What we're going to be doing is I'm going to set the camera down, and then I'm just going to like fast forward, or Rudy is just going to fast forward through all of this until he gets to the point where he can actually do the B-twist. I'll be back. Yeah. Yes, that was perfect.
I get the feeling.
The boys, thank you for your sacrifice. You understand that feeling now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Spin around it.
Yep. Oh, so that was the correct twist, but your arms kind of worked against you. They were out, but they were pulling to the right, like as if you didn't want to do it. So make sure everything's going in the same direction and that everything's cohesive. But other than that, the twist was absolutely correct. Like you didn't drop your right leg down, like you were in the air, it was just a bit slow. If you want to add some extra momentum to your B-twist, you can do what's called spin steps. Here's what it looks like though. You're basically just going to like, there's a awkward view. You're basically just gonna run and like spin 360. Here's what it actually looks like. So it's gonna be this first portion here. So I'm B-twisting to my left, so I'm gonna spin to my left and I'm gonna run to my left. So I'm gonna step over right leg, prep, there's my 360, and then I'm gonna go into my B-twist from there. So the whole thing is gonna look a little bit more like this.
Spin.
And then B-twist. Yep. Now, important thing about this one is that just that set alone, I know it was kind of like a dry practice run, you're just trying to get the feel for it, but I don't want you to get into the habit of throwing your arms down, and because it was looking like you're getting ready to rip to the floor. So make sure you're after your spin steps, you're lifting chest up and you're lifting that leg up.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Ah, yeah, you see how you're throwing down? Yeah. Perfect. I'm glad you understand.
How do you not do that?
You block from here.
It automatically wants to do that.
You block from here, this left leg. All right, so here's the thing that you're missing. When you're doing yours, you're thinking about twisting this way, and that's one of the common mistakes. You need to wait until you're here before you do your wrap.
So,
There, and then wrap. Do the spin steps with your B kick. I mean, you don't have to do the setup. I was just throwing it out there for the viewers.
there's a lot that to keep track of for the brain, and it's not working.
Not working yet. And then again, spit roasting that right leg.
Not lifting the leg.
Mr. 10 minutes found his match.
Yeah, this doesn't make sense.
Twisting is a whole nother beast, man. Okay, that was correct. That timing that I was talking about, like the weight, you did that. That was good.
I'm not getting any lift.
It all comes from the kick.
Yeah, there's no kick.
None. Yeah, I wonder if we could do a series like, I bet you $5 you can't learn to B-twist today.
In a day? Oh, I could probably learn any trick in a day.
Let us know in the comments down below if we should make this a series. And let's see how much money I can get out of Zane, because I bet you I can't teach him to cork in a day. So.
What, cork?
Yeah, boy.
Give me a tramp.
Nah, man, it's gotta be on grass. I can learn any trick in a day. Let's go dub fools. All right, anyway. All right. A couple of common things that go wrong with B-twists here. While Zane practices in the background, let's talk about a couple of common mistakes here. One common mistake, as you guys can see from Zane back here, trying to learn how to B-twist, is, as we said before, he's not kicking his leg high enough. So you really want to try to get as flat as possible while doing your B-twist. The second common mistake that happens a lot with B-twists is that people start to initiate the twist too early. So that was the piece of advice that I gave him that he said he didn't quite understand. Now, what I mean by this is people will try to twist from this position here, and this is the incorrect position to twist from. You want to wait until you're starting your flip and then wrap. And that would be the correct time to initiate the twist for the B-twist. The third common mistake, again, as you saw Zane doing, he started reaching with his right leg down. Now, what I like to think of is that my foot, when it goes up, it pins me to the wall, right? So bloop, now I'm stuck to the wall. Now, the rest of my body then has to twist around that point as I start to go and as I start to twist, which would be the third common mistake. The fourth common mistake is arching. And I know you just heard me tell Zane to arch his back to help prep, but that's only because we don't have the pads that I'm used to teaching with for a B-twist, because I have a whole nother set of drills that I would teach. I'm just not gonna have him back flop, literally back flop onto grass, which I imagine you're thankful for. Yeah.
Flopping onto my sides enough.
Yeah, it's quite a lot. So I learned how to do my B-twist outside, and it was just a lot of falling. All right, and the fourth common mistake here will be the way that people will lift their chest. So when they, or rather don't lift their chest, and again, you heard me tell this to Zane, as he started to do his spin steps, is that his chest was actually ripping towards the floor as he was trying to prep for the spin steps, and that's gonna send you straight to the floor, and it's not gonna give you any height at all. He's right back at it again. All right, here we go. Let's see, he can learn any trick in the day, so let's, oh, no, he fell. All right, this one's not super common, but I had just helped out a friend of mine, which you may have seen on my Instagram story. I just saw a friend of mine who was doing his B-twist, and everything he was doing was way over dramatic. So you don't need to have an excessive dip. You don't need to have an excessive T for the rip. So your dip doesn't have to go all the way down. Even though that's what we're taught, it is a common misconception. So here's what I mean by dip. You don't need to like dip way down here for your B-twist, and you don't need your arms to be super excessively big way out here before you wrap. What I found helps me is I actually just think about, as I dip, as I pull this elbow back and then rip my twist. So I dip, here this elbow comes back, and I initiate my twist, and I start, and then I squeeze my hips together and pull my arms in while keeping everything hollow and straight. And that's what I found helps out my B-twist even more, because there was a point where it just didn't make sense to me like that. Yeah, you don't need a very dramatic dip. Also, I realized I haven't talked at all about the setup. So the setup for your B-kick is just a nice wide stance. Now I go a little bit outside of my shoulder length, so I'm not full straddling, you know, a little outside of my hips, a little outside of my shoulders. And I do a small dip. I only go about like right about here. You don't have to go like perfectly flat or anything. Right about here, just enough to like load the lower back, kick that glute back, right? So squeeze your glute, kick your heel up, and you want to see the outside of your jump leg. So for me, because I'm twisting left, my jump leg is my left. So I'm looking for the outside of my ankle just before I wrap my twist. So I'm gonna go, dip, and I'm now looking at the outside of my ankle, and then I wrap my twist. And as far as the landing goes, most people like to step out of the B kick with one leg. And if you can do that, great, more power to you. And if you cannot, that's also totally fine. You can land on 2 feet, you can land on one leg. It really just doesn't matter. Understanding the twist and the fundamentals of twisting are the most important things, which if, much like Zane, this doesn't make sense to you, then go check out my speed twist tutorial, and that'll make a lot more sense, hopefully, as far as the fundamentals of twisting, which I will leave a link in the description down below for you guys. I will also leave a cork tutorial, and just give that one a once over because it has some useful information inside that one for just twisting in general and how I go about thinking of it, and that'll make sense as well. Again, link in the description down below for those 2 tutorials, so make sure you give those a listen to and a watch. I think that's about it. Common mistakes, ways to drills. Got it, that's not it yet. I got it. All right, if you have 8-inch pads at your disposal inside a gym, then great. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to do your B kick, and then I want you to just half turn and flop to your back. Kind of the same way that I had Zane arching his feet down, but in this case, you're just gonna be able to keep that proper positioning. You can also do this onto your bed mattress, just try not to break it. But the idea is to B kick and then flop to your back, right? So kick, flop to your back. And then once you're used to that positioning and you're like, oh, this is when I'm upside down, and you really understand when you're upside down, then you can start to add an extra quarter turn. So instead of landing on your back, if you're a left side twister, you're gonna land on your left side. And then once you understand the amount of twist that you need to get to your left side, then you're gonna add just that extra that extra quarter turn, and now you're gonna start to spin a full 360 and belly flop onto your bed or onto your 8-inch mat, right? Now this doubles as a couple of different things, right? So one, you have to be able to B kick high enough to get up onto your bed, which will help you with your B twist height, which Zane is struggling with because we don't have a bed out here, or an 8-incher for that matter. So it helps with that. And then it also helps giving you a safe landing so you can have a safe practice space to work on the twist itself, especially if you're not a natural twister, which Zane's a natural flipper. If you remember the wall flip tutorial that he did, and he got his wall flips literally in 10 minutes. So, which is why I can learn anything in a day.
If I learned this, then it's over.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, actually, like if you understand like the concept of twisting, it's really game over because you already understand like how to flip. So it's yeah, that'd be sick if you just, oh, that's how that works. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, that'd be sick. At the point to where you're landing on your belly, the next step is really just to start landing on your feet because that twist is all there. Making sure that you understand how to twist and when to twist and what makes that twist go. And then you're basically just all set for taking your B twist outside. Now, if you do not have access to an 8-inch mat and you don't want to ruin your bed, then a pool or a trampoline also works fine. If you don't have access to either of those, then you're just kind of stuck learning on grass like Zane did. And like I did, at which case there's 2 methods to learning it. 1, which is the method that I kind of walked Zane through, and 2, which is the just huck it method. Don't do that one. That's the one that I learned on, and it's not the greatest. Those are the 2 methods basically. So just to recap everything, know a B kick, wide stance for your B twist setup. You don't have to dip all the way. Make sure you pull your elbow back in the direction that you're twisting. So I'm a left side twister, so I'm pulling my elbow back, my left elbow back, instead of keeping this nice wide T. You don't really need all of that momentum to go in unless you're trying to pull doubles. But in this case, this is a single B twist tutorial. So you don't need a nice T pose. Most people will twist too early before they start their flip. So make sure you see the outside of your ankle before you start your wrap, and kick your back leg up as hard as you can. If you got some information out of this, you got some useful stuff, make sure you leave a like for the algorithm. So make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of our future tutorials or vlogs. Because now you can see a whole new world. world. Oh God, Rudy's gonna put that in. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Definitely putting that in now.
People need to hear that.